Happy Witchy Wednesday, peeps. I guess I gotta move the camera back a little bit so you can see this whole hat. Aww. If I look like the Wicked Witch of the West today, oh, that's intentional. And the funny part about that is you don't know if that's real or a joke. How you loving? I am Reverend Valerie Love, also known as KAISI, Divine Midwife of Soul Destiny. How you doing, Regina? Look at all our peeps coming in. Student of the Spirit, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you, love you, love you. Welcome. I decided to switch things up a little bit in my sacred space. And now I have my Egyptian head here. I just love, love, love this Egyptian head. Believe it or not, it came from Ross. Do you see that? I mean, isn't that interesting? Only $12.99. I saw it. I was like, oh, I need that in my world. I need that in my life. I need that. So, with the serpent on the head. So, yeah, it's in my sacred space. I had it up higher, and the Buddha was here. I decided to move things around. How you loving? How you loving? It's Witchy Wednesday. Hence the getup. It's Witchy Wednesday. Oh my God, it's Witchy Wednesday. You know what we haven't done in a long time? Hey, love. We have not done a filter in I don't know how long. There's one. Okay, there's one. That's blush. Here's pop. There's pop. Here's crush. Ooh, I like crush on the witchy. Crush looks great on witchy. Vote. Let me know what you all think. Crush. Let's see the next one. Oh, what is that? That's glow. It's between crush and glow. Which one do y'all like? Because y'all have to watch it. We have a black and white. You like crush? Crush looks mysterious. Ooh, growing is knowing. Thank you. Okay, there's slate, black and white. Crush. Okay, crush. Crush has some votes. Okay. Hi, Dwight. How you loving? This is Dawn. I don't like Dawn. Bubbles. We did the bubbles sometimes, and the bubbles seem to move with your hands. Bubbles is very, very magical. How about dance party? Too distracting. The LoveTubers said dance party is too distracting. Hi, peeps. I'm just playing with filters. What about dawn? No, I think crush is going to be it. Smack. Smack that love button. Rainy Z Blues said, I love it. Glamour. What about glamour? Glamour. I think crush is winning. Glamour or crush? I like glamour. What about 8mm? Looks like a movie. What about documentary? Looks like a movie. Oh, glam. Regina said glam. What about sepia? Sepia, sort of that antique look. What about silver screen? Back in the Harlow days? Glam. Okay, glam it is. Glam it is. What about haunt? I don't like haunt. What about sketch? I don't like sketch. Okay, glam it is. Glam, glam, glam. Where are you, glam? Where are you, glam? Glam was pretty. Crush was darkly enchanting. Ooh, Dwight. Okay, Dwight, you won me over. You won me over, Dwight. We're going to go with crush. Dwight spoke it. I'm going to go with that. I love it. Crush. Ah. Crush. Ah, that hat is everything. Oh my God. Crush for today. Beautiful. Crush it is. Aurora Day says crush it is. There we go. The alt Barbie doll. Yeah, that's dope. Art Barbie doll. Art. The alt Barbie doll. Let's do it. Let's do it, family. Thank you so much for helping me pick out that filter for today. Ooh, and it looks good with the makeup and the lipstick. All right. OMG. What a day we have today. It's Witchy Wednesday. Queen V, how you loving? It's Witchy Wednesday. Oh, you're loving the choker. Guess what? Got it in Salem, boys and girls. Got the choker in Salem. And guess what? It has a tie in the back. Oh, and these are hearts. Can you tell that these are hearts? Got the choker in Salem at the Christian Witches Convention. As far as I'm concerned, whenever I go to the Christian Witches Convention, whenever I go to Salem, I just walk up and down that street and just dump money. Just bring money to just dump money up and down that street where all the stores are, all the witchy stores are, Hex and Omen and just all the witchy shops, just all of them. Just bring your money and just dump it out and receive all the goodies. Tibetan healing arts, oh my God. There's so much right there on that one strip. Grab it. Yeah. Load up on all your witchy stuff. Let's pray. Deep breath. Witchy Wednesday. Honoring all the witches, wizards, and mages of all ages around the globe. Honoring all on the magical path, all the occultists, all the ceremonial magicians, all of our magical forebears and our magical ancestors, honoring all the magicians of the Bible and the magicians of all the faith walks all around the globe, all of the magical beings everywhere. This is your day. Great goddess, known by many names, Ishtar and Ashtoreth and Ashtoreth and Isis or Lilith and Yemaya and Oshun and Diana and all of the magnificent goddesses that form one goddess. We now honor you this day on Witchy Wednesday, for we know that the witch is the emissary of the goddess on the planet, and so we honor the goddess. We honor the god. We honor all magical beings in this space forever and ever. We are thankful for our magical gifts. We're thankful for the gifts of telepathy and psychic knowing and divination and necromancy and changing the weather and healing and plant medicine and essential oils healing and all of the many ways that we're able to heal and touch and lift and inspire and transform and change energy and shift the atmosphere. All of the gifts that we're endowed with as an expression of spirit, the one source that is God, Goddess, I am. Thank you. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Now, call to mind, breathe in deeply and call to mind, because this is tarot and your money. Call to mind your most abundant self. Call to mind all that you are creating, perpetuating in this universe of life. Call to mind all of the yummy deliciousness you desire to experience, global travel and loving relationships and beautiful food and beautiful homes and first class and wonderful clothing and luxuriousness on the path of destiny. Yes, you are here to master the supernatural and the natural. Mastery. Call it to mind. And know that if you see it in the mind's eye, it is already done. Breathe and feel this immense thankfulness. Thankful, thankful, thankful. Feel the thankfulness. Breathe and release with an ah. And as we open our eyes, determine in your mind, set your intention now that you will receive the keys to the kingdom that you require for your life in this now. Set your intention. And then as we open our eyes, slowly raise your gaze. Determine that you will hear today exactly what you are to hear for your soul's evolution, your ascension, your magnificent unfoldment and blossoming into the greater you, the God self. Now, before we begin on Witchy Wednesday, epic thumbnail, yay! I'm so happy about that because we have a whole thumbnail thing going on over here. So I'm so happy to hear you say that. Thank you, God, for talking to me. Okay. And believe it or not, sometimes I take these thumbnails and I take a couple of pictures and maybe the first one or the second one is it. And then, you know, the thumbnail is everything. Beautiful. I think we may leave that thumbnail like that. I don't know. At any rate, I'm so happy to be here with you. So thankful to be here with you. Welcome. Money in the Vortex. Oh! Thank you. Woo! Look at Rainy Z. Thank you so much. I didn't even realize that I was in the nether realms, the hinterlands, as my mom calls it. My mom, who's also in spirit realms, hanging out in spirit realms. Thank you, Rainy Z Blues. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, before we go into today's card, the Hierophant, get ready. Get ready. That's the best time to receive, isn't it, Rainy Z Blues? Isn't it the best time to receive the offering? Before we go into the Hierophant, one thing I want to say. These books I showed you yesterday in the previous episode, the episode of the Emperor, when I went like I promised you I would to add additional books to the list. That's at ValerieLove.com because I've curated all these books for you, yes? The books that have helped me the most, I have put them all together for you in one place. Go to ValerieLove.com, click on books. And it's going to take you to, there's two links there. One will take you to my author page on Amazon.com where you can buy all of KAISI's books. Woohoo! Yay! Please leave a review for us as well if you love the book. Even if you don't love the book, just give us your honest feedback. I just love honest feedback, right? And then there's another list there. There's my Amazon influencers page, right? They call it influencers. So the recommendations. I realized something. I went to put one of these books on the recommendations. First of all, it was no longer being published. I think it was this one. I think it was this book, the One World Tarot book. And the people that did have it were charging something like $860 some odd for this. I'm like, what? Okay, Crystal Love. All right. So pardon me if some of the things that I've been using has been for a long time and is no longer in print. And it now says on Amazon, I'm not going to add that to the list. That's why I did not add some of them to the list. Because it's like, what? Some of them are out of print. And some of them, I wouldn't recommend to you to buy a book for $865. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Because even the Bible don't cost that much. You can get a free Bible in a thrift shop. I mean, in a hotel room. Thanks to the Gideons. Hey, Gideons, thank you. Let's see. Also wanted to show you this. I forgot I had this. I found it yesterday in my books. This is incredible. The Tree of Life Oracle. Use the sacred wisdom of the Kabbalah to enrich your life. I'm just going to show you this. Cherry Gilchrist and Gila Zur. I'm just going to show you this. This is a most unusual deck. It's not a tarot deck. This is an oracle deck. So first of all, it comes with this incredible book. Really nice hardcover book. Most books, and it looks really mysterious because it has the Kabbalah on it with the Hebrew lettering. Most books are not hardcover like this. What's called the little white book that comes in the box. Some of them are not little, but that's just what we call it, the little white book. So here's the book that came with it. And this book is pretty in-depth with the whole, each card. Now, I'll show you what else came in the box. What else comes in the box is this chart. So this chart sort of gives you a meaning and understanding of what some of these things mean. You'll know what this is in a moment. Next in the box is the cloth. I've just never seen an oracle like this, and I've loved it for years. I don't understand it. One day I will. I love it, though. This is a cloth. Do you see that this is like a linen cloth? And basically what it does is it lays out the same exact layout as this. So I think this is a key of a spread, and you put it in these spots. So this is probably a key of what each spot means. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Pretty spectacular, isn't it? Next, let's show you the cards. Oh, there's more. There's also a little book in here. This is probably one of the best box kits I've ever seen in my life. This, which I've never used this because I usually use my grimoires, was a little notebook to keep, isn't it so awesome? To keep all of your readings in the notebook. Then, that's not all. Here are the cards, finally. So I'll show you the cards. And the reason that I never really got into this is I'll just be honest with you, I didn't understand it. So here are the cards. And this is going to take some study for me to really understand what this is. Because as you can see, this is not a tarot deck. It works with the Tree of Life. And it's got strange names like the Uprooted, the Actor, the Coward, the Sorrow, Casualty, the Eater. So I never really understood this deck. Nice little tiny sized deck. Fits right in the palm of your hand. Really nice working deck. I never completely understood it, so that's why I didn't dive into it. And I also love the red. But I do know this, that because Spirit bought it to me, it bought it to me for a reason during this challenge. It was on my books. And I just looked at my books yesterday. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I had this. Never used it. So maybe now it's time to dive into this this is going to be a whole new thing. Okay? So, and it fits really beautifully. It's called the Tree of Life Oracle. And this was in my crazed Kabbalah stage where I was gobbling everything that had anything to do with Kabbalah. And I was going crazy. Shot girl, how you loving? So I do want to share that with you. And if I find it on Amazon and it's not ridiculously priced, I will add it to the list. Okay? I have a little box over here, collector's box, where I keep a lot of decks over there. By the way, let me show you another deck that I got and that I received. Actually, I don't really think you buy decks. I think you receive them. Even though you buy it, something greater than you selects the deck. This is the Gospel of Aradia, a witch who is Stregonoria. I hope I'm saying that right. Stregonoria, isn't that beautiful? Stregonoria is Italian witchcraft. Thank you, Shot Girl. We were talking about the necklace earlier. I got it from Salem. So here's the inside. I love this deck. Here's the inside. This, once again, is not a tarot deck. It's by Stacy DeMarco. I'll add this to the list as well. It may already be on the list. This is not a tarot deck. This is an oracle deck. So here you see the back side of the cards. I always think it's fascinating looking at the back side of the cards. I think that's A for Aradia, the Gospel of Aradia. You were looking on Amazon and didn't see it. Okay, I'm going to add this one, the Gospel of Aradia. But look at these cards. I'm just going to give you a little flip through these cards. That's like they're really beautiful. They are really, really, really beautiful. Look at that one. So mysterious. This is based on Italian witchcraft. Okay, so the images you will see here will be our Italian sisters and brothers. Okay, based on Aradia. This one is called Secrecy. And they have the word in Italian underneath. Isn't that fly? I love these cards. Wow. Guess what? Wow, look at this. You gifted Aradia to one of my friends, Angela. Ooh, I love it. Look at this one, ritual. Now you will find this to be quite synchronistic as we go into oh, we are Italian. Oh, yes, I love it. You will find this very, very, very synchronistic because guess what I'm going to show you? The ritual card. Now, I wasn't even planning on pulling out this Aradia deck today. However, I did get this in Salem as well at Hex Bookstore in Salem. When we went to the Christian Witches Convention, Brian Kane and Christian Day, Christian and Brian, they are the owners of Hex store in Salem. They're also the owners of Hex and what's the other one? Hex and Omen. I got this not from Hex. I got this from Omen. Omen is more the lighter magic and Hex is more the darker magic. Those two stores. They have two stores in Salem and they are so kind to us that when we came for the Christian Witches Convention, Christian and Brian, in the planning of the convention, we reached out to them and we asked them if they would give our students and our attendees a discount at the stores of like maybe 5%. Christian said, oh, come on, darling, let's give you 20. I was like, oh, Christian and Brian gave us 20% off everything in Omen and Hex. Man, we were buying our lives. Are you kidding me? At the Christian Witches Convention. And they also own Hex in New Orleans. So a big shout out of love and appreciation to Brian and Christian, who also put on Hex Fest every year. New Orleans, go to Hex Fest. They're incredible. I love them. I love them. I love them. Look them up. Brian and Christian. Here's why the word rituals is synchronistic. Do you remember that I told you I was going to ask Spirit for one word for every card that encapsulated or gives us not the whole meaning of the card, that gives us what we are to know now? Okay? The one word. And I received it for the Hierophant, and it is ritual. So very interesting that we pulled, and I have S in parens because it could be ritual or rituals, okay? So you will be very, very, very delighted to know that the synchronicity means it's working. Hierophant, let's dive in. So the Hierophant is key number 5 in the tarot, key number 5. 5 in the minor arcana, 5s are problematic. In the major arcana, which are the first 22 cards of the deck, right? The last 56 cards of the deck, the tarot is in 2 books. The first 22 cards are called the major arcana. Arcana means secrets, major secrets of the universe. The second book of the tarot is called the minor arcana, minor secrets, 56 cards. 22 cards, 56 cards, 78 cards. Now you will find that there are a lot of tarot decks that don't have 78 cards. Osho Zen Tarot, which is one of my favorite tarot decks, I believe that tarot deck has 80 cards. That's not a true, pure tarot deck. Probably has a card extra here or there added to it. That's not an exact pure tarot deck in the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition. And I do work with the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is this giant deck, which you will see also on the list of recommendations because I like teaching with the big cards. Okay? I love the big cards. So I use the Rider-Waite-Smith. I learned on the Rider-Waite-Smith. I recommend the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for beginners. A lot of people do. Some people don't like it. It's personal. Your spiritual walk is personal. So let's talk about the Hierophant. And in this challenge, we're using 5 decks. So I show you the Hierophant and Rider-Waite-Smith, our giant teaching deck. And then we go into our Hierophant in the other 4 decks. So first, let's talk about the Hierophant. Red robes. What do we know about red? Passion, love, fire. White tunic under the robe. What do we know about white? Purity, holiness. This character, once again, is sitting between the 2 pillars, a nod to the High Priestess. So why did I bring out the High Priestess today? I pulled out the High Priestess again because there's something I want you to know about the connection between these 2 cards. They're absolutely connected. The High Priestess is the spiritual mother of the tarot, the spiritual feminine leader of the tarot. The High Priest is the father, spiritual father of the tarot. Okay? Everything in the law of gender says all is gender. Masculine and feminine exists in all things, and masculine and feminine has nothing to do with penises and vaginas. Okay? Now, if we look at the High Priestess, we see the 2 pillars. If we look at the High Priest or the Hierophant, we see the 2 pillars. What are the 2 pillars? I'm going to jail now. I love talking to you. See you later, guys. Bye. Jail. Oh, is that work? Oh, my God. You concerned me there for a minute. Okay, we're sending you love. We're sending you love, okay? We're sending you lots of love, shark girl. Now, you'll see the 2 pillars. The 2 pillars represent the 2 pillars on the tree of life. So let's go back to the tree of life again. And you see here we have 2 pillars. This pillar is the pillar of severity. This pillar is the pillar of mercy. This pillar is the constricting pillar. This pillar is the expanding pillar. This pillar is the middle pillar, okay? So we have the feminine pillar, we have the masculine pillar. And this is going to be reversed because you're looking at it in mirror image. So reverse it. Now, when we look at the 2 pillars, we see these are mirroring the tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life. Now let's go further. Look at his hand. His hand is in a symbol. What does this symbol mean? As above, so below. That is the law. The law as it appears in the Kabbalion and on the ancient walls in Egypt. That's what this symbol means, among many other things, because most symbols have many meanings. This is the meaning that we are working with here. This is the law of correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. I won't point my fingers at you. As within, so without. So this is the truth. Sometimes this is even a hand symbol that is held up, is recognizable to other members of the particular organization. Sometimes secret organizations. I'm not saying any more about that. Next, let's go to the crossed keys at the feet of the high priest or the Hierophant. The Hierophant has on white slippers with crosses on the slippers. He also has crossed keys. This could symbolize, for me, this is one of the meanings that it symbolizes for me among many, that there is hidden knowledge and secret knowledge laying at the feet of the Hierophant, yet it's crossed, so there's somewhat of a, how do I want to say this, Spirit? It's not accessible. It's not completely accessible, not unlike the pomegranates on the high priestess curtain. Okay? Now, you want to know more about her curtain? Go to the high priestess. Hey! Hey, Chris, how you loving? How you loving? Now, let's go further and look at the two initiates here who are being taught by the Hierophant. So this tells us that this is a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher, but this is also called the Pope card. And originally this could have been a female back in the day, okay? This is the Pope card, and this one has a great headdress on representing the Pope, okay? This scepter that he's holding in his hand also could represent the triune nature of God, right? God the Father, God the Mother, God the Holy Spirit. God, there's a triune nature of this. There's also 3 levels to his crown, and there are 3 diadems, it looks like, at the top of his crown. Another thing to notice is that these 2 initiates are dressed differently. One has the red. Oh my God, I love the tarot. I've been studying it. Soon it'll be 15 years. And I feel like I've just scratched the surface. One of the initiates has the red roses, hint to the Rosicrucian order. One of them has the white lilies. Where have we seen this again? The magician. Yes? Do remember the magician. Let's pull the magician out. Let's see if I can find the magician in my big giant tarot deck. Magician. Here's the magician. Let's look at it. You've got to pay close attention to recurring themes. Oh, I love the earrings. Child, I got my Witchy Wednesday gear for you. I got the spider earrings. See, I was thinking about y'all today. Let's look at the first the Hierophant, the red roses, the white lilies, red, passion, love, white lily, purity, holiness. Here we see it again. Red roses, the Rosicrucian order, white lilies, purity. The 43rd deck card, and then, ooh, spider. I love spiders. Love them. You see a spider in my house, it is welcome. I freaking love spiders. And spider medicine is very much about journaling, turning within, being... It feels very yin and very cocoony to me, spider energy. It's said that people born with a natural mole or moles on their face are the Hierophant. Real? It's said, this is very interesting. Let's see. It's said that people born with a natural mole or moles on their face are the Hierophant. Wow. That could be true because I have a lot of moles on my face. I have a few. You might not be able to see him because his face is beat. But I can tell you one thing. I do have moles. And you know what's very interesting? My mother had a mole. And you know what's also very interesting? So does Tiffany Haddish and so does Serena Williams. They have prominent moles. Very interesting. Let's go further with the Hierophant. The Hierophant has, like I said, 2 initiates. So this is a teacher, okay, Nas, Chrissy Lampkin, heard a fellow astrologist state such when she was looking at Nas' natal chart. Wow. Nas is a very profound ascended soul. Nas is a very ascended soul, for sure, for sure. Now, when we look at the Hierophant, now that we've looked at some of the symbology and what it means, let's now go into the esoteric teaching of the Hierophant, especially for your money. So we're talking about ritual, Hierophant. We're talking about conformity to convention. Maybe sometimes when you pull the Hierophant card, we're talking about you have one too, Ujo Wajet. Very fascinating. Very fascinating. Here we're also talking about a teacher with initiates, perhaps a teacher that is somewhat in a mystery school. Like I'm honored to be the headmistress currently, the current headmistress of the Christian Witches Mystery School. You have a teacher here that has students. Yet, this is a teacher, a very specific kind of teacher. This teacher, Aaliyah, very fascinating. This teacher is one that follows convention, rituals, ritualistic, follows protocols. So this is not a rebel. This is not a rebel. The Hierophant is about conformity, convention, walking the straight and narrow, and doing things ritualistically and according to a long-standing tradition. You're not going to break the mold here with the Hierophant. You're going to do it exactly according to tradition. That's right. Rituals, traditions, conventions. It would be like a marriage ceremony that is a very typical marriage ceremony of a man and a woman. That's not very typical in the whole scheme of humanity. Yet, when we talk about conventions, and you think of normal conventions back in the day, right? You would have a man, you would have a woman. The woman wears white, the man has on black, and they're gonna have these rings. All of these are pagan symbols, right? They're gonna have these rings, and they're going to tie each other's love in a circle forever and ever, an infinite circle of love forever and ever. And this is very conventional and normal. Now, we don't follow those conventions. I officiated, I supported a wedding where there were two brides, right? Here comes the bride. Oh my God, they were so cute. And they got married on a boat in Washington, D.C. a few years back. That same year that we had the same year that we had the hurricane in Washington, D.C., and the same year that we also had the earthquake in Washington, D.C. It was very interesting. A lot of movement was happening in the consciousness of humanity because I believe that was the same year that gay marriage was legalized, lesbian and gay marriage was legalized in Washington, D.C., and there were a lot of couples getting married, and there was this couple getting married, and it was the brides. Oh, they looked so adorable. So anyway, it was the brides. And I helped to support and officiate at that wedding. So we're talking about weddings. We're talking about conformity, convention to the norm. Now, you would not use the Hierophant to start a woman married over water. Oh, yeah. There were women. Yeah. Two brides married. And I tell you one thing. The waters were... it was not smooth sailing. The waters were moving because there was this hurricane coming, and it perfectly mirrored our consciousness, because to tell you the truth, the two of them were rocking the boat, literally, and the boat was rocking. They were literally rocking the boat. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's really incredible, right? All right. Oh, the Illuminati. Interesting. Let me read this, Chris Chat. Some have associated that card with what's called the Illuminati, too. That card, and at time, the Three of Pentacles, too. Oh, interesting. Three of Pentacles, I love. The Three of Pentacles is probably one of my favorite. Yeah, women are the water holders. Yes. Three of Pentacles is probably one of my favorite cards in the whole tarot deck because it shows the true nature of creation. It shows the three, once again, trifold. It shows the idea, right? It shows the nurturing of the idea, and it shows the manifestation of the idea. And it is an incredible card. The Three of Pentacles is an incredible card. Incredible. Okay, so let's now look at the Hierophant in several other decks. First, we're going to go to, before I go to looking at the Hierophant in several other decks, there's also a reminder. I also pulled out for us again today the Empress and the Emperor card from the episode of the Emperor. Go back to that one, and the episode of the Empress. Go back to that one. Please take copious notes in your grimoire. Please. Now, there was something I wanted to add about the Empress and the Emperor, so that when we get later into the minor arcana, you can carry this wisdom through, and it will be like a continuous stream of enlightenment. We won't have this thing where it's not all coming together. We love integration. So here's the integration that I want to offer you about the Empress and the Emperor. She, just like the Hierophant and the High Priest, spiritual ruler of the tarot, feminine spiritual ruler of the tarot, feminine masculine ruler of the tarot, or father of the tarot, feminine goddess of the tarot. Now we also have the ones who rule in the natural. So we would say these two rule in the supernatural. And this tells you, once again, as above, so below, everything that's above has a counterpart in the below. So if we're looking at the Empress and the Emperor, they rule the kings and queens of the tarot. So the Empress, she rules the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. The Emperor, he rules the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles. So everything has a correspondence. Everything. And the correspondence is always mirror. It's mirror. Okay, so I did want to add that note to integrate our learning in the tarot over this whole series so that you have a holistic look at the tarot. Beautiful. Now, Chris Jack, this is a very important thing that you're saying. Polarities. This is a very interesting thing. So let's go to the Kabbalion. So the Kabbalion, we have 7 hermetic principles, 7 laws. Now, one of these laws is the law of polarity. Polarity. Oh, loving this series. Yay! I'm so happy. This is my life. This is what I love. This is what I love. The law of polarity. And the law of polarity helps you to integrate that which seems to be two opposites by saying it's all on one pole. So hot and cold are not two different things. Hot and cold are one thing, different gradations or grades, okay? Law of polarity also has up, down. It's not two different things. Its only difference is by degree. White, black, not two different things. Just on the spectrum. You have some people that are very white, you have some people that are very black, and then you have a whole lot of people in between. Now, same with ice and fire. Fire and ice, Game of Thrones. Fire on one side, ice on the other. You go closer, closer, closer to fire, fire, fire. You're melting the ice. You're getting hotter, 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 hotter. Same thing with the fire. Cooler, 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 cooler. You got ice. They're not two different things. Therefore, the law of polarity is going to help you come out of duality and into oneness. All is one in the universe. There's not two different things going on in the universe. If you stay in duality, consciousness, you'll always be looking like this, hot and cold, good and bad, evil and good, and God and the devil, and up and down. And you will think there's two things going on in the universe, and your mind will not be stayed on the one. See, we must come into oneness by integration. Look at your hands. They're the mirror image of the same thing. They're not two different things. It's one entity. Now, both these hands emanate from the one, don't they? They look like two different hands. Aren't they emanating from the one? So that's law of polarity. Now let's look at law of gender, one of the 7 hermetic principles. Law of gender says in all things there is gender. Divine masculine, divine feminine in all things. Therefore, nothing is completely male and nothing is completely female. And when I say male and female, I don't mean penises and vaginas. Please get that out of your mind. I don't really think at this point penises and vaginas have anything to do with masculine and feminine, because you can have masculine people with vaginas, you can have feminine people with penises, and vice versa. It's very fluid. Get that out of your mind. I hope the LGBTQIA plus community is helping us with this. Get it out of your mind. It's very fluid what people are when you look at their personhood. So let's now go to what is even beyond personhood. Okay, what's beyond personhood? Spirit. Spirit is beyond penises, vaginas. There's a level of your being. There is the true you is not gay, straight, male, female, black, white, Chinese, da-da-da. It's none of that and all of it at the same time. The real you, the real self of all selves, cannot even be contained in a body. So let's go beyond that. Yes, you have both masculine and feminine energy. Yes, centralized. So this law of gender, just as we spoke of a moment ago, the law of polarity, law of gender. Get the Kabbalion. Where's my Kabbalion? It's around here. Get the Kabbalion. Where is my Kabbalion? I think it's over there. Get the Kabbalion. The Kabbalion is going to tell you, I'm just looking around at all these books. The Kabbalion is going to tell you the 7 Hermetic principles, the 7 Hermetic laws. Live these laws, and you must master each law. And don't mix them up. So we have law of polarity is different from law of gender. These are 2 different laws. Law of rhythm is different from law of polarity. Understand the distinctions. Mastery comes from understanding distinctions. Okay? And don't have them all Mod Podge together in your head. Okay? Just think about that. All right? And reflect on it. Get the Kabbalion. It's in the list at ValerieLove.com. Click on ValerieLove.com. Get the Kabbalion. And you're going to see all these laws clearly outlined. We also go through them in depth at the mystery school. Now let's go to the Hierophant. And now that that's been said, let's go to the Hierophant and the Gilded Tarot. Ooh, do you love that? That's the back. Now let's look at the Hierophant and Gilded. Now, mind you, a lot of tarot purists do not love the Gilded Tarot. When it first came out, they meant this big brouhaha when Ciro Marchetti made this deck. However, I have always loved the Gilded Tarot. And I feel like anybody can make a tarot deck if they want to. You can make a tarot deck if you want to. So go for it. If it's going to help people, do it. All right? So here is the Hierophant. Let's look at some of the symbology. We do see the Hierophant has stained glass. We do see the 5. We also see the astrological influence in the back. We also see the stained glass, which nods to the church. We also see a scepter in his hand. Here, what we do not see are the initiates or his students. Okay, so that's one version, also known as the Pope. But we can tell that this is a Pope, right? A religious figure that is about conventions and norms. Now let's look at a totally different kind of Hierophant from the Spellcaster's deck. Here's the back of the Spellcaster's deck. I love the back of decks. Now look at this Hierophant. I found this fascinating. Look at that 5. Look at that. Do you see this? So here we have sort of, the Pope represents the Hierophant. Absolutely. That's another way. Is that incredible, Chris Jack, or what? Whoa. Yes, as I said in the beginning when we first started going into the Hierophant card, another word for the Hierophant was the Pope. Look at this. Now, what are you all seeing? Is this incredible? What are you all seeing? Now, this is somewhat of a devil character because if you look very closely, the pointed ears, this deck is incredible. The pointed ears, and he's the devil. Here we see the green sort of Eve character. Okay, isn't that beautiful? So when you consider it and look at the headdress, it's still a headdress that is a papal headdress. However, there is no face. Now, I love that. Look also at the whip. Can you see the whip? Look at the whip. Watch me whip. Watch me nay nay. Pardon me, that came from my my love of hip hop. Anyway, he has a whip. Okay. Next, he has a gift. What's the gift? Very good question, but we do have the crosses. We have the third eye. We have the pyramid. We have a nod to the 2 pillars we've been speaking of from Kabbalah. What? That's a good question. What's the BB? We're going to find that out right now. We're going to get the book. We're going to get the little white book from Spellcasters. Where is my Spellcasters box? Got it. Child, don't get me to making this up, because I have no idea what that means on that, but we about to find out right now, because let me tell you something. The sister got books. I got books on books on books. We ain't even got to concern ourselves with that. Isn't it a beautiful box, too? Spellcasters, one of my favorite tarot decks. It's on the list at ValerieLove.com. Now, here's the book. The book is hefty. I got to tell you. It's definitely not a little white book. It's pretty heavy as well, because the pages are the very nice, heavy, shiny pages. I love good, substantial books. So let's look at the Hierophant and let's see what it means, the BB. In the meantime, here we go. Woo! Okay, here it is in the book. Okay, descriptive, representing society, religion, government, and other institutions that take it as their business to impose expectations and place limitations on those around them. Woo! That's slavery. That's the whip, right? Conventions, norms, governments, religions. The Hierophant is the archetypical emblem of the power structure and the urge to control and homogenize. While the Emperor exhibits the wild nature that roars within us all, the Hierophant is the ultimate symbol of civilization and social boundary. This is very much constrictive. This is very much of the norms, the societies, the conventions that they want conformity. While it's often necessary to do things within the parameters of tradition and convention, and to meet everyday obligations without fuss or resentment, it's equally necessary to dance to the beat of one's own drummer, to try new things and pursue passions, desires, passions. I'll bet you that red is about passion. We'll find out in a moment. I bet you that red is about passion. Passions, desires, and ambitions, regardless of what religion, society, or anyone else has to say about it. Amen. Divinatory meanings, reverse, magical uses. You know what? It does not say in the little white book. The symbology is not given in the little white book in this page, as far as I can see. So, look it up on YouTube. Go to the YouTube University. She is hiding her moon. Isn't that interesting? I felt they were Adam and Eve. I felt they were, this dude looks like a devil character. He has a tail. She does not. He is red. However, we did see the green tower earlier. They both look subjugated, but of their own accord. Perhaps they could be bowing down to conventions and traditions, even though they may not fully agree with it. But it looks like perhaps there could have been some conventioning going on, some conditioning going on. Could be witch energy. She definitely is holding the moon. I take her holding the moon behind her almost as a symbol of, I have my symbol, and though I may bow to a religion, I'm not giving up my pagan symbols. She has it behind her back, almost hiding it, and still feigning obedience with her head low. Yes, she's holding her own. Yeah, Chris Jack, she's still holding and revering. By the way she's holding it, she's showing reverence for the moon cycle. Very fascinating. He has a whip, which means he's going to, and I almost get the sense that with the whip and the gift, that he's not going to give you what you want in that box until you obey. No. Do you love? It's magnificent. Isn't that magnificent? You could meditate on this card for quite a long time. Let's go now to the Feng Shui Tarot deck. Here's the back of the card. Here's the front. The Hierophant looks like the Buddha. The Hierophant looks like the Buddha. Isn't that beautiful? There is Professor Egad. Thank you for that, you beautiful being. Absolutely, there is power in surrender. probably one of the most powerful things you could do, especially surrendering to your true nature, not to an institution outside of yourself, right? Here's the Buddha. Now look how he's floating. He's high, high, high up. Perfect peace. This is the Hierophant in the feng shui. No headdress. Completely at peace. The Hierophant looks like the Buddha in feng shui tarot. Magnificent. Love that. Now let's go to Morgan Greer. Morgan Greer, here's the back of the card. Here's the front of the deck. The Morgan Greer deck, we still see the crossed keys at the feet, no disciples, and we also notice the three-tiered scepter. Holy Father, God is the Father, God is the Mother, or the Holy Spirit, God is Christ, the child, which is you. We still have the nod to the Kabbalistic tree of life. We still have the as above, so below. I'm going to tell you a story about as above, so below, this hand symbol. Do you remember in the Matrix? Who remembers this in the Matrix? Hey, Crystal Beauty, how you loving? Who remember, happy Witchy Wednesday, by the way. You can't see my whole hat while I'm sitting this way. However, if it looks like Wicked Witch of the West, that's intentional, darling. Who remembers the... Uh-oh, frozen. Unfreeze. 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 Okay. Who remembers... This is so weird. Every so often we get a little freezing going on. Is it frozen on your end or only on my end? Let me know in the chat if it's frozen or not frozen. And let me know. Because sometimes this live stream can't take all the energy. Frozen on your end too? Okay, hold on. I'm going to do something about the frozen. Hold on. We're going to work this out. Hold on. We used to have this thing called unfreezify. We had to do the unfreezify spell or the unstupefy spell. Unstupefy. Unstupefy. Hold on. Yeah, you can still hear me. What happens is eventually it catches up. I don't really know what happens, so I'm going to keep going. I don't know what happens with this thing, but every so often I notice that it does a little freezing thing. So hold on. One moment.